Okay, this video is just a brief introduction to what mindfulness is and a bit of an explanation about how you can use it in your daily lives for yourself and for your family. Now, mindfulness is all about paying attention. It's about paying attention on purpose. It is about paying attention without judgment, not judging yourself and not judging other people. Now that is incredibly important in today's society when we're on social media. That is all we are doing. We are liking people's pictures, we are making comments on people's posts. So it's all about not judging others, but it's also about not judging ourselves. Now we can be mindful of our senses, what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch. But we can also be mindful of our thoughts, our emotions. Mindfulness is all about helping us respond to a situation, respond to a person, not react to it. Now this actually sounds quite simple, but it's often not easy. Mindfulness is about teaching yourself to be more aware of your body, aware of your mind, and also the environment around you. It's about being present in the moment, right here, right now, not always thinking about what you're cooking for dinner or what's happening tomorrow or what you need to do. It's about focusing on the present moment. And it's about making those choices about where you place your attention. And that brings us back to that mind and body connection and allows us to be accepting of ourselves and of other people. So have you ever said something you later regretted? Been so nervous about a presentation or something that you've got to do that you couldn't sleep the night before? Have you walked into a room to get something and forgotten what you were looking for? Have you ever been really sad or upset but you didn't exactly know why? So if you don't have mindfulness, you have that situation, that stimulus. It could be that person you're having a conversation with. It could be an interaction you're having with your child. It is that stimulus and it is your direct reaction to that situation. Mindfulness teaches us to have that interaction with that individual person or that situation, but brings our awareness to what we are doing, our focus and our attention to that particular moment of time. It brings us our awareness to what is going on here and now. It gives us time to stop and think. And in that, it allows us to make choices. Do we do X or do we do Y? And because it gives us a choice, we are then responding to that stimulus, that situation, rather than just reacting to it. Now, when we look at definitions of mindfulness, there are two here. But really, it's about being aware of your own experiences without judgment of those experiences. So in a sense, mindfulness is a state because it is not static in one particular moment in time. It's from moment to moment, from situation to situation. It is not just traits. You are not born with it. You have to learn to be mindful. So mindfulness is not about thinking about nothing. It's actually bringing focus and awareness back to our thoughts. It's not about being happy all the time and loving every single minute of life. It's bringing that non-judgmental awareness to that present moment, being able to stop and think, have choices and respond and not react. It's not necessarily religious. It can be a secular practice. It is all about mental training and learning to be mindful and not having that knee-jerk reaction. And it is highly supported by a lot of clinical, empirical research. It's not about long periods of time just sitting and gazing into space. Mindfulness can be active. You can be mindful when you're in a yoga position, if you're going for a daily hike, or doing your daily routines. It's about bringing the attention to the present. So it's about enjoying that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, that biscuit, that piece of cake, that sandwich, your lunch for what it is. How often do we go about our daily lives and we are wolfing down, our lunch, and we don't even realise we've finished it until we're on the last crust of bread, or we finish that cup of coffee and we can't even remember the taste of that cup of coffee. Mindfulness is about bringing our awareness to that present moment and enjoying every sip of that cup of coffee or every bite of that sandwich. It could be walking down the road and noticing the breeze against our hair. It could be focusing our awareness on how the leaves have changed colour in the past few days. It is all about focusing your attention in that present moment. Mindfulness is about living in the present, but it's also about thinking about the future and being able to have our awareness to plan for activities in the future in a very deliberate way. It's not necessarily relaxing. It could be quite boring. It can be quite annoying, but it's about being with what it is. It is what it is. And mindfulness is not about zoning out. It's actually about zoning in. It is purposeful awareness. It is paying attention to those small things, that taste, that feel, that emotion. It's bringing our understanding and awareness back to why we are feeling like this. Yeah, why did we say that? And it's about responding, not reacting. Through mindfulness, we can recognise when we're on autopilot and have a chance of stepping out into the freshness of the present moment. As we begin to pay attention to what is going on in our body, our mind and our environment, we can all too easily get stuck on autopilot. And by developing this mindfulness, we can be more aware of our habits, what makes us unhappy, what makes us stressed, and we can start to make new choices. We can also become more present, more able to taste the richness of our world and all those little experiences that make up our lives.